Hi, David Chillen here. I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I went to the JW.org website about a month ago, and it said, "We Jehovah's Witnesses do not believe in conspiracy theories." Okay, now about 6 years ago, I went to YouTube and I typed up the Pentagon attack on 9/11 film coverage, and it was released. Well, the film from the guard station there, and I didn't see no plane. I saw a missile. I saw a missile. I saw it. So how is it a theory now that it's a fact? Right? I'm one of Jehovah's Witness. I saw a missile hit the Pentagon. I didn't see no wings on that big rings and a big tail fin. I didn't see any of that on the missile because it was a missile. So is it a conspiracy? Yeah, it's a conspiracy. Is it a theory? No, it's a fact. In my mind, as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I'm sworn to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I got baptized, and I didn't get baptized saying, I swear to be a liar. I swear to tell the truth about God and the truth about the world and what's going on around in our environment around here. And that's what went wrong. What do you think? What do Jehovah's Witnesses think about Building 5 in the 9/11? Building 5 was far away from the building collapse. Yeah, it exploded. How did the building so far away explode? And there was other buildings around Building 5 that weren't harmed at all. Or you mean the fire jumped from the two towers into that? It chose that specific building to go over, and no plane hit that building. It exploded though. Those people that owned that building were ready for something to happen to explode the building and collect insurance. And the insurance companies had to pay them. Even though that building wasn't anywhere near the other buildings. I swear it was like 200 yards away. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. Anyway, my religion now is ridiculous. The governing body of today is not the same as the governing body of yesterday. It's weird. They're enforcing copyright laws against their own people. That's weird. Jesus said, "You will know my followers if they have love amongst themselves." And here they are enforcing copyright laws against their own people. There's no love there. Where's the love there? Huh? See, and it's not that it's not the true religion. Is that it's being taken over by the governing body. Members are turning evil, and they already removed two governing bodies, so something's going on there that's different than normal. That's not normal to remove two governing bodies in a matter of 6 months, right? That's not normal among Jehovah's Witnesses to do that. It would be far in between where a governing body would actually turn against Jesus. And there's no proof that they did turn against Jesus. They just turned against the other governing body members because the governing body members wanted to restrict territories like social media. They wanted to command us, command men, create a commandment of men to and enforce it so that we wouldn't be able to preach on social media. We wouldn't be able to use the material. It's the first time the Watchtower ever said, "Oh, this is their exclusive property, and it doesn't belong to Jehovah's Witnesses. It belongs to the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society," showing a demarcation between the two. There's a difference between Jehovah's Witnesses and the Watchtower Society and Bible Tract Society. There's a big difference now, because now the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society is using copyright law against their fellow Jehovah's Witnesses. There's a difference there. There's another thing that they did that the former governing body would never have done, ever. They reduced pioneer hours. No, I heard it in a talk produced by Jehovah's Witnesses, and at the talk, there was a boy out in service with his father, and the boy said, "Dad, where are you going?" "We're going back to the car. We're done in field service." "Dad, I want to do that house. We got to do that house before we're done." And the father said, No, son. Look what time it is. It's time to go. Our field service is over. We've done enough for Jehovah. And the boy insisted, "Dad, just one more house. That house right there." And this boy was wanting to do more hours. He wanted to do a little bit more time to do that one more house. And in that house, the door knocked. They knocked. The guy came to the door, and he accepted the literature. He was crying and stuff, and he accepted a Bible study from Jehovah's Witnesses. So he started attending meetings. He got baptized. He gave talks. He's an elder now. See what happens when you just do a little bit more. But the Watchtower Bible Tract Society today's governing body wants to lower pioneer hours. That's nothing like the former governing body. This governing body is different. There's something evil about them. They want to cut pioneer hours down. That means millions of lives may be at jeopardy or lost forever. That's millions of people that will not be contacted. A guy gets home at 5, and pioneers used to work to 6, 7 o'clock at night, and now they work to 4 or something, and that guy gets home at 5, and he's never around in the weekend, so he doesn't get contacted. He works 2 jobs. He works in the weekend, and he works all the day into 5 o'clock. So he would have gotten contacted if the pioneer hours were the same. Now that the pioneer hours are different, he comes home and he's not going to get a knock on the door. He's not going to get his life saved. Why? Because they lowered pioneer hours. This is going to happen to, well, maybe hundreds of thousands, 200,000, 500,000 people. Is that acceptable that 500,000 people will die now because they're not being contacted? Also, is it acceptable that 500,000 to 2 million, maybe 3 million people are not contacted on social media? Is that what Jesus wants? People to not be contacted. See, the new governing members are fine. They're fine with the loss of life. Apparently they don't care about anyone's lives except their own. What do you think? What do you think, people, brothers and sisters? How many lives are acceptable to be lost to you? How many lives are expendable to you? How many lives do you think should be kicked to the curb because we're not allowed to post our life-saving material? You know what? I think we got to do what we Jehovah's Witnesses got to do is we got to build ourselves more presses. We got to call it the Jehovah's Witness Press and not the Watchtower Bible Tract Society. We got to make our own literature now. We got to write our own songs now. Yes, we got to write our original songs and create an original songbook to be used at all Kingdom Halls and not the Watchtower Bible Tract Society, since they're betraying us. They're traitors. They're allowing millions of people to get killed. They're no longer following the Lamb. That's my opinion. What's your opinion? Hey, are you a wise Borean? Or am I the only Borean here? Wise enough? Am I the only one that Jesus commanded to stay awake? And I'm awake? I'm noticing these things. Are you noticing these things, or are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, brothers? You haven't noticed a difference in our governing body. Now, Jesus said a little bit of, ferments the whole entire bread. A little bit. That's what they're doing. They're just doing a little bit of bad things, like telling us in a talk. They wrote a talk. They wrote a talk telling us not to use Jehovah's name in our prayers. They're gonna dictate how many times you and I say the name Jehovah in our prayers. How is it any of their business? Our private prayers belong to us and Jehovah. They're between us and Jehovah. Jehovah wants us to speak our mind, not the mind of the governing body. They have some nerve to tell us what to say to Jehovah in our private prayers. Our private prayers are what? Private prayers. Sorry, Watchtower and Bible Tract Society and governing body. Nice try to control my prayers with Jehovah. But those are my prayers. Those are your prayers, brothers and sisters. And it doesn't belong to the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society to pry into your private prayers. Remember, Jesus said to Peter, hey, Peter, how is what this man, this fellow, how is what he does any of your concern? If he should live forever and never die at all, how is that any of your concern? And Peter was the leader. Peter was in the governing body back then, right? He was the leader of the governing body back then, and yet it wasn't any of his business what John did, or any of us did. That's my proof, brothers. It's none of their business what we do, you and I. When we write our field service report, how is it any of their concern? We should take God's advice. God is speaking to Jesus in Revelation, and he says this, the great crowd, which no man could number. Which no man could number. God said, which no man could number. So what are they doing numbering us? What are they doing number us when no man can number us? Yeah, they're infallible. They made a mistake. They wanted to get in our business. The business that's none of their business. 1 Thessalonians 1, chapter 1, verse 14. It's none of their business. Right? We're supposed to live quiet lives and mind our own business. And Jesus said, don't look at your brother. Stop looking at your brother. So what are they doing looking at us with a field service report? What are they doing looking at us with a field service report? It's none of their business. Sorry. I'm not speaking my mind. I'm speaking the mind of Jehovah. This is from Jehovah. It's none of their business. It's from, Jesus said it's none of their business. You obey everything Jesus said, except when it comes to getting in other people's businesses. Sorry, Jesus, I believe everything you say. I do everything. I knock on doors. I talk about Jehovah. I love Jehovah just like you love Jehovah. But I won't mind my own business. I'll look at my brother. I'll talk about my brother. I'll look at his private information. I'll require them to give out private information. Information that's between them and Jehovah, I will demand that they understand it's my business. It is my business, said the governing body. No, see, that's a mistake. They're humans. They're not infallible. And that is one of the mistakes that they made. It will be in the new light sooner or later. Maybe we'll understand this after the Great Tribulation and Armageddon passes, and it'll be too late. A lot of people that were attracted to the truth never got baptized. Oh, I'm not getting baptized, and then I have to fill out a field service report. And then I have to conform to them, and then I have to keep that. I have to keep a steady rhythm, or people are going to spy. People are going to say, "Hey, I read your field service report, brother, and I could tell you're holding back from Jehovah. You're holding back from Jehovah." How do he know? How does he know? Because he's not minding his own business, right? So now he could attack the brother with all kinds of accusations, start telling all the brothers in the congregation in all the area, brother so-and-so is holding back from Jehovah. Now, I had a brother named Frank Mastapiro. He heard I was dating this woman named Beatrice, and he goes, "You can't date Beatrice. You can't date her. You don't qualify for her. She deserves someone better than you." I said, "Why?" "Because you're holding back from Jehovah." Come to find out, he was the one in the congregation that took care of our field service reports. So he noticed my field service report, 2 hours, 1 magazine or 0 magazine, 0 return visits, and he came to the conclusion. He decided that he could make a judgment against me. So he judged me. He judged me as being a person holding back from Jehovah. No, he never came up to me and said, "Brother, what's wrong? How could I help you? I know it's your field service." He's not supposed to look at our field service. He's supposed to just collect them. He's supposed to be collecting them. And he's sitting down there at the table, down in the basement, in one of them secret rooms, looking at our field service reports. And you know what I mean? It's not his. It was like the elder in charge of the field service. I don't think it was his right to look at them either. I think he's supposed to report them, mail them to the headquarters. I don't think it was any of anyone's business. And there's a reason why Jesus didn't want it to be someone's business, so that they wouldn't cause problems in the kingdom. And he caused a problem. And that woman, Beatrice, he took a group of brothers and sisters to her house. And he caused her to break up with me with all kind of secret words that they never told me. They never told me, but she told me. I called her up and wanted to get together again. And she said, Brother Mastapiro came over. And he came over with a big group of brothers and a bunch of people. And they all made sense, David, that I believe that you're not serving Jehovah anymore. You're serving yourself. You. I think he makes a lot of sense when he told me that you were holding back from Jehovah. I can't say I'm sorry because I'm not. I don't want to talk to you anymore or see you. And that was in 1996, and I've never spoken a word to her or her to me since then. We were in the same congregation for like 10 years. I'm not there any longer, but she would just walk by me. She wouldn't say hi to me or talk to me or shake my hand. I was disfellowshipped. She disfellowshipped me. She put me on mark, and a bunch of other brothers put me on mark because one brother saw my Fieldway service report, and he was supposed to mind his own business like Jesus said. If he had obeyed Jesus Christ, then I wouldn't have gone through all that hurt and pain. Maybe me and her would have got married. You know, what happened was I went through a lot of pain on one job, and the whole job was filled with a whole entire factory. They stopped working and smoking pot while the boss went to China, and he came back, and every single one of them said it was David Shilman. He's the one that slowed the whole shop down. And when he came in and he fired me and everything, the boss, and he said, David, everyone said it's you. They can't all be wrong. You're the one who's slowing down my factory, and you're fired. I said to him, hey, Tim, you've been yelling at me, hollering at me, and making all kind of. You revealed how you felt for me for the last 5 years, and you talked to me all this time, and I've been trying to work here, and you keep stopping me from working. Look, you got a factory here. Listen. Do you hear any machines going? Do you hear anything? Do you hear any noise? It's usually noise in here, right? But what time is it? It's 2:50, almost 3 o'clock, and there's not anybody's working. I'm trying to work here, but I can't work because you keep stopping me. And now you fired me. You fired me? Why? I'm the only one working, and you fired me. I said, where are they? Where's everybody? And he went outside, and he found them all in their cars, smoking pot and drinking. And he told me, you're not fired. You can keep working. Well, they all hated me. They said I narked on them. I told them they were out there doing that, and I didn't tell him where they were. I just said, is there anybody else working in your factory, Tim? That's what I said. I didn't narc anybody out. I said, how come, Tim, you're going to fire me when, listen, there's no noise in your whole entire factory. Nobody is here. Is there? Is there anybody else working? See, I was going through some stuff, and Frank Mastapero, he didn't ask me, what are you going through? How could I help? He didn't love me enough to make any kind of investigation. All he wanted to do was mark me. All he wanted to do is run his mouth about me. Where's the love in the congregation, brothers? We got to do better than this. We got to do better than that. Understand that?